GenAI is not able to distinguish between a brain tumor and a normal tissues. So there is a confusion. You have done a Google search and you using a chat GPT, you are trying to do a search in an efficient way.
I think the simplistic picture people are seeing is that Gen AI is equal to job losses. That's all they know.
We had AI earlier. When you order something in Swiggy, and whenever you try to cancel a food application, even before the GenAI hype cycle, whenever you are trying to cancel a food from a Swiggy, the system will ask why you are all canceling the food. Are you not satisfied with the way the food prepared? What was the mood that he or she is in that particular situation? Then maybe according to that, the pop-up things are coming up.
Welcome to this fresh conversation. I am Ravi, and I'm very, very privileged to have Dr. C.S. Saravana Kumar here with us. He's Senior Software Architect at Robert Bosch. And it's a great pleasure for us because over all this time, we have been trying to curate all these conversations where we talk to a person who is truly immersed himself in the depths of technology, and we can share that wisdom and sort of create a kind of a public discourse which is looking at AI and other technologies with not just curiosity but also in a critical lens so that they can make their own decisions. And I was thinking, Dr. Kumar, that what I would probably start off on the note that we were talking about just before this conversation, which is amidst all this hype about Gen AI, it's very interesting how a techie like you has, of course, you are optimistic and you are looking forward to what Gen AI can do, but you are also discussing with us about the things which Gen AI still can't do really well. And I think starting this conversation on that counterintuitive note would help us. So if you could tell us how in your experiences and the way you have looked at AI, and so much more than I would ever be able to getting to know about AI, how have you sort of confronted the limitations of Gen AI in various forms?
Hi, first of all, thanks for having me. If I look into the Gen AI things, always couple of things that always strikes, and still there are challenges with Gen AI. The very first thing is with the healthcare, and with healthcare we have not reached to the level that we accept the decisions made by Gen AI. So are we able to are we fine when a Gen AI gives a resolution, or when a Gen AI diagnoses your reports and directly gives a solution that you have been diagnosed with so and so disease? Are we at the accepting level? No. So that is the starting point, especially with the healthcare, and everyone is turning towards the healthcare with Gen AI because the problem is not solved. One such example is image analysis. Even today, the Gen AI is not able to distinguish between a brain tumor and a normal tissues. So there is a confusion. And even today, we still have convolutional neural network. Even when you look into the IEEE conferences, paper, when you get into the IEEE Explore pages, we can still find there are a lot of papers still with CNN and RCNN, OpenCV, Huff Transform, all this, sorry for the technical jargons, but still there are, the things are there. But when you compare with the other stuffs of Gen AI, we have traveled a lot far. When we were during the college days, we were studying about naive-based model, decision trees. But overcoming naive-based and decision trees, we have large language models everywhere now with Gen AI stuffs. But Gen AI still can't able to hit hard with image sensing, image analysis is one such area. And another one, what I feel is, still we were not able to, Gen AI can able to do a summarization, it can able to understand semantics, but at what level? Even today, my father, is also having, every one house will have some property documents, getting onto into that, and we will have lots and lots of pages, bundles and bundles of pages. But are we able to relate the story with GenAI? Why can't we? Because GenAI was introduced, now almost into the 2 years into the world of GenAI now, into the hype circle. But are we able to solve the semantic things that GenAI can solve, even with a small, document references? A document that has been, having a 50-page document, something that was referenced in a 40th page. If it is having a reference to the second page of the document, does GenAI can able to distinguish that this has a relation? No. Still we are going to the lawyers and we are still asking the legal opinion, and still the people are taking 1 month of time, 20 days of time. So these are some of the areas still, then at what stage we are coming into is then still GenAI is not successfully gone into a much satisfaction level of understanding semantics is what, some of the concerns I have with GenAI.
Dr. Kumar, actually, when you tell me that, the immediate thing, because, you're coming from the industry and you're speaking to our faculty and our students, the hype cycle that you speak about is not just limited to industry, it's entered academia also.
Okay.
Because, we are seeing a plethora of courses which are offering training in GenAI. I think there probably would be colleges and universities which would offer a bachelor's in GenAI,
Yeah.
right? Overlooking the fundamentals or the history of AI that you speak of. And, for me, you are a very inspiring figure because you actually did a PhD in machine learning.
Yeah.
And at that time, obviously, I'm assuming that time GenAI had not come about, or
Yeah.
probably hadn't taken over the world as it has today. So if you could tell us again that sense of, not just from the perspective of users, but also the reason why students should have their fundamentals clear. Like they should know the various generations of AI, which before GenAI, they should know even the fundamental mathematics, the Bayesian models and everything. Can you emphasize for us how important building that ground is and not be completely swayed by a hype cycle, even for students? Like, what are your thoughts there?
It was a nice question. Even during my college days, it was like, we had like hardly 5 to 6 courses, maybe in computer science and IT, and apart from the DZ, triple some courses are there. But now, yes, I can see a lot of courses, BTech in AI and ML and data science, integrated courses are coming up. But what I could now see is this may lead us to a situation where what we are into now with normal computer science, we have so many engineers, graduates who has completed the computer science course, but how much is the capability of them? Then I am also into a fear now, because there are a lot of enrollment for AI/ML data science without understanding, because they are just carried out with the hype cycle. And maybe in some time, because when in another 2 to 3 years, there might be a plenty of engineers. Instead of they calling themselves as a computer science engineers, they may call themselves as a data scientist or anything, but are they really capable enough to solve the problems? So one thing is, when you want to choose an artificial intelligence course, it could be a data science, it could be a machine learning, but one thing is, are we able to, because we want to use GenAI to, it's like exactly like how we use ChatGPT. You have done a Google search, and you using a ChatGPT, you are trying to do a search in an efficient way. You are trying to do a search in a much, less time complexity. You can able to solve, or you can able to get the results in a much efficient way. So that is what a reference I wanted to keep. I wanted to keep GenAI as a, when you are trying to involve GenAI for any of the problem statement, that is not going to change. The only thing is you should able to solve the problem statement using GenAI in an efficient way.
Yeah.
So that for that, understanding the problem statement will be the base. That is not going to change. That the mindset is not going to change.
Yeah.
But what is the approach that you can use? It's not like GenAI could be applied for everything. Sometimes involving GenAI may increase the complexity. You should really know the need of GenAI, the applicability of GenAI, and what data that it should be involved, what model that you need to try to use. It is not like, you take a sample LLM model and you apply that same LLM model for every type of the problem. So first thing is, you really need to know what is the real problem that the world faces, and in what way that you are going to solve it. True. And what way that GenAI can elevate that. That is more important.
Exactly.
How it can elevate it, making the job easier, and making the job easier for not only for us as well as also for the audience or the intended users who are going to get benefited.
Yeah.
Is what my thinking.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great point, because that is a nice segue for us to elaborate on the point we were discussing, which is, Gen AI has been extremely useful, apart, like, while we have looked at it critically, but we also have to acknowledge that what you were saying, it has been extremely useful not just for the end user, because of course we are lucky to be, these lay users who get to benefit from ChatGPT. But the point you made about how at the back end of organizations, and especially high-tech organizations, it's been useful for them also. So if you could elaborate on that, because I think that's a perspective not very available to people outside, because I think the simplistic picture people are seeing is that Gen AI is equal to job losses. That's all they know. So if you could tell us a little more about that.
Again, I really admire this word when it was said by one of the professor, that Gen AI is not going to take our job, but the people who does not know how to use Gen AI may lose not the job, at least their credibility will be lowered, and Gen AI is not only, it is like not only the one side of the thing. What we see is we bring Gen AI into everything. Even whenever we are trying to, even in the food applications, we had AI earlier. When you order something in Swiggy, and whenever you try to cancel a food application, even before the Gen AI hype cycle, whenever you are trying to cancel a food from a Swiggy, the system will ask why you are all canceling the food. Are you not satisfied with the way the food prepared? Then maybe the next time it was not showing you the particular hotel. So AI was there. It was in a different form. And we brought in Gen AI just to understand the mood. Maybe with Gen AI we have brought in, knowing the mood and, knowing the way the customer, what was the mood that he or she is in that particular situation. Then maybe according to that, the pop-up things are coming up. We are, again, as I said earlier, we are elevating the application of something using Gen AI. But we are also forgetting that Gen AI not only give easy user experience. Of course, it's definitely giving a great user experience, but also it is also helping also the IT developers, especially if you are trying to develop a code. We have many things, many tools are available. So if you want to develop a code, if you want to analyze any situation, and when you want to run some tests or something, Gen AI is again elevating your potential into X times, So something which was done in some X number of days, it was done in very much shorter time, and that too with more capability. So that means any product that is coming out of the industry will be more, again, elevating the product. So I'm now very fond of using this word elevate. So again, it not only elevates the user experience, it elevates the product that is coming out of any organization using Gen AI. So Gen AI not only helping the customers, but also the the industry people who develops the product, is my view.
Yeah, and in fact, like you said, Dr. Kumar, that while Gen AI can be useful, I want to return to the point that you made about its utility in healthcare, because without flagging this very interesting concept of explainable AI, our conversation wouldn't be complete. Because, like you said, sometimes Gen AI could be useful, but we want to also know the reasons behind what makes it come up with a particular solution, right? And you're talking about this new paradigm called explainable AI, and I think it's a fascinating topic, because in a sense, that's the purpose of this conversation, to make AI explainable to the lay public. But even otherwise, if you could tell us what this paradigm is. And the other thing which I'm curious about is, what other specializations do you need to work towards this project of explainable AI? Because my intuition is that it cannot only be engineers, it has to be, I don't know, probably people who are psychologists, people who are from the so-called non-tech domains, shall we say, because you need something of their input also to understand how much AI has become explainable. Because Am I right, or is that is the picture something different?
No, you're absolutely right. Example, if I take the healthcare industry,
Yeah.
and when we are working on the explainable AI, we wanted to work with the doctors.
Yeah.
Because we are not a subject matter expert. If a techie is working on a healthcare, trying to bring something on the healthcare, because as I have told in the beginning of our conversation, if a machine is coming and conveying you that I've analyzed your report and you are being diagnosed with so and so disease, you will never believe. You need some facts. You need some facts to prove that whatever the machine is saying is right or not. And maybe I will answer your question in two ways.
Sure.
So the first way is like explainable AI. Why explainable AI is the next flavor, or almost we have set on our foot on the explainable AI already. Because whenever a system is taking a decision, and if a system is able to explain you why it has taken that decision, example, if the system is analyzing your report and it says that if a system is trying to convey you that I have taken a decision because I observed these things, I also got a reference from these things, and I also observed that there is a peculiar thing on your report, so which is very close to this. All these explanations, if the system gives you in a convincing way. So more or less, in short, explainable AI is trying to bring a humanized form of AI to you. It is like as if you are talking to a doctor. You will never have a feel of you are talking to a system. So explainable AI will try to tell you why it has taken such decision. Example, when you draw a duck, if some object is in has a long beak, and if it is in water, if it is in yellow color, and instead of saying, maybe if GenAI says that it classifies that as a duck, maybe if explainable AI can convey you like because of the yellow color, and because of as it is in water, and because of this dimension that it is exactly matching with the duck dimension. I'm classifying this object as a duck. It will be more convincing for you.
True.
And the same thing will also be applied to the health industry, that why it is taking such decision. Not only in health industry, any decisions that has been taking, because decision making is everywhere. Any system, any AI machine is finally making a decision making. So that's where even in the academic syllabus you see decision making as a one topic found everywhere.
True.
Because it could be a classification, it could be a grouping. You are trying to take a decision.
True.
So that's where explainable AI will have an impact.
Yeah.
And second thing is, you asked about why or what all the is it alone that techies are alone needed? No, definitely not. It should be a combination of different people. So in an ecosystem of working with explainable AI, you definitely need a subject matter expert and a technical expert, and along with the different peoples. So I always say the subject matter expert will give the opinions, and the stakeholders are different. It could be common people, starting from common people, subject matter expert, technical expert,
True.
and domain experts. So all these combine together in forming a great ecosystem for explainable AI.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I completely agree with what you're saying about decisions, and because this is something that I was reading about recently, so I'll just complete your thought when you say that the need for machines to justify their decisions. I mean, I'm thinking about, for example, if a self-driving car, is involved in an accident,
Okay.
then you want to know, okay, if you want to pin the responsibility on whom? On the
Okay.
driver, on the algorithm designer,
Okay.
on the car designer, and maybe if it is an explainable AI, at least formally speaking, the car will be able to tell you why it took a certain decision.
Okay.
Right. So then we can I think, I'm not sure if the legal complications will be bigger or smaller.
Okay.
But I'm thinking likewise, I would say, given that, the healthcare is such a high stakes industry,
Yep.
I think, I think doctors are definitely, responsible for giving explanations for what they do,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And I think we should expect the same for machines also,
Yep.
that they should give us. But, I want to now sort of we can go on and on about this, but, this conversation would not be complete, I would say. And I would like to end on this note. What I was having with you is to bring us back to our context, which is India, and more specifically to this interesting place, which is on the southern part of Bangalore and,
Okay.
bordering Tamil Nadu. which is obviously not very far from Coimbatore, where you're located. And we can't deny that all this while in India right now, there is so much anxiety that where are we in this AI race? Where are we in the tech race? And I see, at least apart from Bangalore, Coimbatore as one of those big, spots of hope for us in the country. If you could let us know about, from your experiences in your organization, and especially you actually belonging to Coimbatore, how you've seen it grow as a hub, and what kind of future do you think it has in terms of placing India in a better status when it comes to competing in the tech world? So, I mean, I think that would be a nice space to just,
So, with respect to Coimbatore, it's again a very important technology hub that is growing. Because Coimbatore started itself as it's a place of small scale industries. It's a home of small scale industries, and so with AI, booming up, what I could see is a lot of things are happening with Coimbatore conferences. That is especially on the healthcare side, with AI technologies, starting from the healthcare and also from the manufacturing units, taking a lot of things. And also I also see in Coimbatore there are a lot of things also happening with smart farming, smart agriculture stuffs that are happening with AI stuffs that is growing on. So that also I think all these factors with Coimbatore made also an interesting thing to have, also from the focus from the government, to have the AI park in Coimbatore.
True.
So because of the interest that is growing with Coimbatore, not only in healthcare, also in healthcare, agriculture, automotive, and manufacturing. So I think that sums up why Coimbatore also with AI is showing more interest. And also I think with the collaboration also shown from the government and every stuffs, I think Coimbatore will be, I am hoping that Coimbatore will be one of the pioneering cities in the upcoming future in the field of AI.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great note to end on. And as you talked about collaboration and building an ecosystem, even universities like ourselves would be, really eager to participate in that process.
Yeah.
And, I think your coming here is already a demonstration that we are very sincere about it. And we look forward to have you again and sharing your wisdom with us.
Yeah, same
Thanks
here.
a lot.
Same here. And thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
And I wish we will collaborate in future. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.